we're professionals, Chris. We've got it handled.
Yeah, you guys got it. All right. What am I even doing?
Ready to go?
Yes, you're good. Yeah.
All right, yeah, go on.
Is your mic on? Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Dave. What's up? I've been brought in today to host this chapel because what we are doing today is Coffee with the Crumes, where you get to know your president and first lady a little bit more. And what we have decided to do is we've decided to start out this chapel with a couples competition to put Gene and Cindy in competition with two other couples. But before we get to that, a little bit about me for fun. I graduated from Judson in 2002. I was a worship arts major. We have any worship arts majors in the room? 2. Excellent. Also, speaking of couples, my wife and my's 21-year anniversary is actually today. Thank you. Thank you. Which means that some of you could be our children. So if you don't know who your father is, thank you. Okay, so secondly, one of the things that happened, I actually have an improv group called Green Room Improv. Has anybody seen Green Room Improv before? Yes. So we actually started at Judson University and graduated and kept performing, and we perform every month at the Hemmons in Elgin now, and also at the Row in Crystal Lake. And our first Hemmons show back for the fall is this Friday. So if you're interested in seeing Green Room Improv, we are at the Hemmons this Friday night at 8 p.m., and there are student prices. So check it out if you're interested. Now, I don't want to lose too much time today, so we're going to start bringing up the people that are going to compete against each other in the couples game. So for starters, the couple of the hour, please put your hands together for Gene and Cindy Crume. Come on down. Come on down. You guys can go over here. You're going to be sitting on this side. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Now, Chris Lash gave me two other couples' names, so that the next couple I would like to bring up onto the stage, you're going to come over on this side and sit. You guys will sit right here. We'll do Gene here and Cindy here. The next couple I'd like to bring up on stage are Nigel Bruce and Maya Salas. Or Mia Salas. Nigel and Mia, there they are. There they are. Come on down. Come on down. Over this way. Oh my goodness. Got some fans. Nigel is so swole. So, Nigel, we're going to have you here. And actually, I'm sorry, Nigel here. And then, is it Mia or Maya? Mia, you're going to be right there. All right, welcome to the stage. And then finally, we have a couple that's not actually a couple, they're friends. So, they're like roommates. So please put your hands together for Chase Ashcraft and Gage Fox. Over here. What is up? So where is Chase? Chase will be here, and Gage will be there. The tall guys. All righty. So I just want to do a little interview here real quick. You guys have been dating for how long?
9 months.
9 months. Nice. Yeah. And good job for knowing that immediately. How did you guys, let me go over to Mia. You said Mia, right? How did you guys first meet?
So we had each other on social media, and
Wait, you had each other? Okay, so you were friends on social media?
yeah. And then welcome weekend last year, I saw him and I said hey, and I kind of went like this, and he says that I punched him, but I just did a little jest. And then after that, he started texting me. So I guess I made the first move. So this is your sign to make the first move.
Let that be a lesson. If you punch somebody, you might become a couple. All right, let's go over to Chase. So how did you two first meet?
He was living in my room freshman year.
Okay, let's go over here. Gene and Cindy, how did you guys first meet?
We were in college together. I'll let you all do the math. Cindy was a year ahead of me in school, even though I'm a month older than she is. So, yeah. But she was always the big leader on campus, and like I adored her from afar. And she was smart enough not to date me in college because I was a yahoo. And then we both came back to homecoming at Western Kentucky University and reconnected in our friendship and began dating and then got married.
Did you go, when you saw her, did you ever go punch her in the arm, like lightly?
No. She's a farm girl, and that's not a good decision.
Awesome. And how long have you guys been married?
33 years.
All right. And how long have you two been roommates?
3 years.
3 years! Let's go! Okay, so let's kill the music for a second. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna give you guys some dry erase boards and markers. It's kind of like the match game where you have to write down an answer and see if you get the same answer. So that's for you. This is a little clumsy, but that's for you. That's for you. You. I ran out of dry erase boards, so you get paper. And then you can grab one each. Grab one each. Grab one each. And you guys each one. Now, to make this fair, I would like you to change your stools a little bit so your kind of backs are sort of towards each other a little bit, because so you can't see what the other person's writing. I'm going to ask you a question, and we're going to go back and forth talking about the guy or the girl, okay? For your purposes, then, you're the guy, you're the girl. All right. Congratulations, Gage. Question number one, and we can do music while they write. Question number one. This is for both, so you can just generally answer this. What is currently your favorite activity to do together? Currently, your favorite activity to do together. And hide your answer so your partner cannot see it. What is currently your favorite activity to do together? All right, looks like we got most of them ready to go. So I'm going to start with Nigel and Mia. Nigel, your favorite activity to do together is lift. I see it. I see it. And Mia wrote movies. Movies. That is a 0. Those are two very different answers. All right. Coming over to Chase. We can kill the music for a sec. Chase, what did you write down as your favorite activity to do together? Watching TV, in parentheses, Star Wars. Very, very specific, very specific. And Gage, what did you write? Watch TV! Let's go. We're starting to see the 3 years versus 9 months difference. That was not even that bad. They acted like I called you like idiots or something. All right, let's go over to you guys. 33 years. Gene, what did you write down? Favorite activity to do together?
Watch Castle on TV.
Watch Castle, the TV show. And Cindy, you wrote?
We like to travel together or sit on the couch and watch TV.
All right, we're going to vote. We're going to cheer. Cheer if they get it, and then we're going to cheer if we don't give it to them. So for those who think they should get it, you cheer now. Those who think they should not get it, you cheer now. That does not count. That does not count. For the future, Cindy, do not write down 6 possible answers. All right. Question number 2. Question number 2. What is a phrase? Now, remember who the man and the woman is over here? Gage, do you remember? You remember who the woman is? Okay, good. What is a phrase that the man says when he is annoyed with the woman? Music, please. What is a phrase that the guy says when he's annoyed with the woman or the roommate? A phrase that they say when they're annoyed. Looking for honesty and authenticity here. Honesty and authenticity. What is a phrase that the guy says when he's annoyed with a woman? You can play at home as well if you're sitting next to somebody you know well. What would your answer be? All right, I think we're ready. Nigel, the guy says bruh or man? Nice, another 2-answer question. Good. Bruh or man? And Mia says, you need a nap. You need a nap. You need a nap. Okay, that is incorrect. All right. Chase, you wrote down your the P wording me off. All right, and then you wrote down Gage, you look stupid. You look stupid. That is a wide spectrum. No. All right, those are incorrect. All right, Gene, what did we write down?
I have a cover page.
Oh yeah, I see that. He wrote Snoopy down to hide his answers from her. All right.
I'm fine non-verbally.
I'm fine. But you say that non-verbally, okay? And Cindy wrote?
Silence.
We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it. We gotta take it. So we've got 0 to 1 to 1. All right. Number 3. We're gonna go to the woman's side now. If the woman were choosing what genre of movie to watch together, what would she choose? Music, please. The woman is choosing the genre of movie to watch together, not to watch alone, to watch together. What genre is she choosing? What genre? I'm really pulling for Mia and Nigel on this one. I want to get them on the board. What genre of movie would the woman choose to watch together? We're going to go backwards this time. We're going to start with Jean Crume. What did you write down as your answer?
Rom-coms, and specifically Legally Blonde, Steel Magnolias, and Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, wow. Rom-com was the answer, and the answer is?
Happy ending. Anything with a happy ending.
Okay, quick vote. Do they get it? Cheer now. Does that not count? Cheer now. That does not count. All right. What did you write down that your woman would choose to watch?
Action movies.
Action movies, and you wrote down?
I wrote down sci-fi movies.
That's a miss. All right, Nigel. Let's go, Nigel.
Romance.
Romance or rom-com, and Mia wrote? Drama.
She's capping.
She's capping?
She's capping. She's
All right, so that does not count. Another 0 there. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do one more at least, and then we might have to do a tiebreaker, depending. Let me pick one here. What will we do here? Who is more likely to get in trouble with the law? Music, please. Which one is more likely to get in trouble with the law? Write that down. Do not look. Which one more likely to get in trouble with the law? I think we're ready. All right, here we go. Nigel, you wrote? Me. Also, Nigel, for future things, you can write bigger if you want to. And Nigel, we got a winner. We got one. We got on the board. Let's go. All right. Chase, you wrote? Chase, and you wrote?
I wrote Chase.
Chase with arrows. Okay. We got 2 points here, and then you wrote Gene. Gene, and then you wrote Gene. All right. So we've got 2, 2, 1. We're going to do another one. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. I'm getting interested now. Finally, I'm getting interested. If you both, as a couple, were gifted a $500 Visa gift card, how would you spend it together? If you were gifted a $500 Visa gift card, how would you spend it together? And don't write lifting. How would you spend that together? How would you spend it? $500. 500. You can play at home. How would you spend it as with your partner? How would you spend that? Thinking hard. Thinking hard. Yeah. I like the intensity. All right, we're going to start in the middle because we've not done that yet. Here we go. All right, Gage, how would you spend the $500 gift card together?
Buying really cool paintings.
Buying cool paintings. And Chase wrote?
Buying Legos.
Ah, man, an artist and a nerd. No, you're not a nerd. You're not a nerd. Okay, over here. Nigel, how would you guys spend $500?
I said movies and dinner.
Movies and dinner? And Mia says?
Shopping and me.
Shopping and her. I mean, that kind of falls in the category of her, but not a match. Not a match. All right. Cindy, you wrote?
I said we go to dinner at Ruth Chris.
Ruth's Chris? Dinner! Are we taking it? Are we taking it? Then, ladies and gentlemen, that means we have a winner, Gene and Cindy Crume! Can we give a round of applause to our other couples that played today? Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Awesome. We're going to transition the stage here for a minute. So just talk to your neighbor for 30 seconds as if we're not doing a stage transition. Go. Go. What's up? So this is Coffee with the Crumes, even though we only have the Crumes and no coffee, but we're sitting down and chatting. Here's what's going to happen. I've got a couple questions I'm going to ask each of them, but while we're talking, I would like you to think about if you have any questions for them, because I'm going to come out to the audience and let you ask some questions that they are going to answer, okay? So get your questions ready, because I'm coming to you in a little bit. All right, for starters, just a quick one, and you can both tag team this or whatever. When you originally took the Judson job as the president, how many years ago was that?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. What's the reason you came out here to take this job?
It was because of the community and how this is a community of faith. And I remember one important thing that for me was very impactful is that as I walked along campus 11 years ago, I didn't tell anybody I was coming because I was interviewing at a different location, so I just walked on campus anonymously. And as I walked along campus from Haywack to the chapel, and I passed students primarily, every student would look up and say hi, unprovoked by me. And I thought, man, what a cool culture. So that for me was a real positive thing when I went to the interview.
Do you have anything to add to that? Because were you part of that decision, or did he just come back and tell you we're leaving, pack up?
I was a part of the decision, thank you, a little bit. No, we were just praying for God's direction on his next professional move, which would be a family move. for us. We knew that. And our daughter was getting ready to go to college. Our son was still in middle school. So we were looking for a place for our family to be a part of. And so it was an easy choice. Just God really made it very clear. After Jean visited here, and then when I came, we came on a Wednesday, and I sat right out there in the middle, kind of very anonymously, because no one knew who I was, and enjoyed chapel that day, and we knew that God was leading us here. So it was the faith component for sure.
That's great. Now, back to you, Cindy, as the First Lady of Judson. What is the role that you play generally, and then maybe even more specifically this year as the First Lady? Because I know that, I've heard it said from the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding that the man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and they move the head. So what is the role that you play on campus?
Thank you. Well, it's support in all areas, Nick. Is supportive, but most of all for my husband. I would say it'd be very difficult to have this position and not have the supportive family, and so to take care of things in our home that I can help him with, and to be his helpmate in this position. But as Judson's First Lady, the role is not clearly defined. I think each person in that role takes on part of her personality or his personality in some schools of how they can contribute. I really enjoy hospitality and entertaining, and so we've been able to do that in our home with student groups and other community groups. Last spring, we hosted our guests from Scotland for a brunch, and they were like, what are we going to serve for brunch? And I'm from Kentucky, so we had a Kentucky breakfast. I did what I know, and I enjoy doing things like that for sure. I enjoy traveling with Jean now that we are empty nesters, and making friends. I enjoy entertaining our trustee spouses when they're on campus. That's a group of men and women who spend a lot of time and energy and effort into the direction and prayer into the direction of our community, and it's important to me to have family support among that. We do the picnic for families. I'm big on families, can you see that? So involving our communities that aren't really directly involved but have a part to play is really important to me. So then looking at campus then and seeing how else I can contribute. Ohio Hall asked me to do a devotion last spring. I love doing things like that. That was an amazing time at their tea. I go to Belize and am a part of the Belize mission trip, so enjoy doing that quite a bit, yeah.
You better believe.
So there is a project that I'm passionate about right now, and that is here in this building, and it is our heritage room that recognizes the contributions of Adoniram Judson and his mission to Burmese. We have this.
For those who don't know where that is, can you tell them where that is?
Sure. The Heritage Room is located in the first floor, ground floor of our chapel here, and it was a part of the gift agreement that the Herrick family stipulated when they gave money to build the chapel. They wanted a special area that would recognize Adoniram Judson's contributions to the gospel, especially in the Far East. And so we have this room. It's a fabulous room. There are really neat artifacts in there. It's not open very often because there are collectible artifacts in there. But I'd like to have that room renovated a bit and do a better job of telling the story. It's a really cool room, but I would like for you all as students to be able to walk in that room and really see Adoniram Judson's story and the story, the contributions that his wives made to that too. So that is a passion of mine to see that project through. This chapel will be 50 years old in 2026. So that room will be 50 years old in 2026. So that's sort of a deadline or a goal that we have out there to renovate that room and make it more accessible to you and other guests on campus.
That's cool. That's super cool. President Gene Crume, in the first chapel of the year, you mentioned a Mike Tyson quote, which was, "Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face." What do you think that means for Judson?
Well, I like that quote because some of the best quotes are simple but pack a lot of truth in them. What that quote means for me is that life will have hardships, but life does not need to be hard. If you choose to live in the hardships, then life will be hard. And so there are a couple of things, just pure data talking, that help life not become hard. You may be able to tackle the hardships, but life doesn't necessarily have to be hard. Number one, overwhelmingly what the data tells us, if you have a meaningful faith life. We're a Christian school, so obviously we feel like it is a meaningful Christian faith life. But if you have a meaningful faith life, if you're Christian, if you're Hindu, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Catholic, if you have a meaningful faith life, you will increase the contentment and happiness of your life exponentially compared to people that don't have a meaningful faith life. You'll also live longer, you'll probably make more money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So number one is, if you have a meaningful faith, that will help you get through the hardships and life won't be hard. Number two, statistically speaking, is if you get a college degree. If you get a college degree, you'll make somewhere between $800,000 to $1 million more in your lifetime than people that don't have a college degree. And so, but another study just came out this week that said also if you have a college degree, you will have a happier life, a more contented life. You'll be involved in civic activities and communities more as well. So generally, this experience that you all are going through prepares you for the real world. Point number three is if you have a partner that you share life with and you have a family, you put those things together and you can tackle the hardships in life, and life doesn't have to be hard. So what Mike Tyson is saying is that everybody walks in with what they think is their plan, but reality punches you in the face, and you have to have a hardship. What are you going to fall back on? What's going to be your anchors in life? And overwhelmingly, if you have a strong faith life, that is the greatest anchor that you can have to help you stay grounded and continue to move through the hardships and have a good life. That's what it means. That's what we hope you all experience as students here. You become equipped with exploring faith to make that the anchor for the rest of your life.
That's great. I also heard that you're going to be holding some conversations this year in Chapel 6. I don't know anything about this, so what kind of conversations are you having? Why are you doing this? Tell us about that.
So as an extension of that, beginning next week while chapel's taking place up here, myself, a couple of other individuals will be downstairs, and it's called Chapel Conversations in Classroom 6. And it is really for those students that don't know if they have a faith life, don't care if they have a faith life, don't want a faith life, or it's for those students like, oh man, I don't want to stand up while the worship group's singing and performing. That's just not my vibe, what I want to do. You're invited to come down to Classroom 6 downstairs, and it's pretty simple. We're just going to have a conversation about what is life, what does it mean, where are you, and our job, my job really, is just to get you talking with each other about that, what that means for you. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It is truly just talking about what does life mean and why are you here and what does this feel like?
Cindy, I got another question for you, and I'm going to be going to the congregation. What do we call them? Student body? I'm coming out to you next. Cindy, I have a question for you that I don't know if Gene would answer honestly, so I'm wondering if you will answer honestly. What's the hardest part of being the president for Gene?
Wow. Well, going to his quote, there is joy in everything. So if we focus on our circumstances, then we're going to be bummed out all the time. But if we focus on God, we focus on the joy in everything. So I think that really, Gene is an optimist. He is a half glass full or glass half full guy. He is always looking at the way forward, all the positives and things. But I'd say the financials and just enrollment in Illinois, where there's declining enrollment, and those types of things are a constant challenge. They're not just a challenge at Judson University. They are a challenge for Christian education across the country. But those types of things, really making this experience the best possible experience it could be for students, for you all, I would say weighs heavily on him, and money is a factor in all of those things. So, yeah.
That's great. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for letting her be honest. All right, I'm coming out. So does anybody want to go first with a question? I'm going to come to you. Raise your hand if you've got a question that you are interested in asking. I got right here. Okay, I'm going to come over here. All right, coming to you. You want to stand up and say your name and maybe what your major is, if you have a major?
My name is Matthew. I'm a transfer from TIU, and I'm a management major. My question is, why did you say, or what made you say in your address that the world is getting better, not worse? Thank you.
Really, two things. Number one, God is sovereign over everything. And so if you have Christ in your life, this is not our permanent home. And so what we experience here, life will only get better when we are sitting before the throne, continually worshiping the one true God. That was my main point. The second part is, while we're on earth and while we're experiencing things that we're experiencing, you all as students are growing up in an age where it's negativity, 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 negativity. And there's lots of reasons for that overall. I think I mentioned the three biggest ones that tend to influence your lives. And that is chasing money, chasing power, and chasing fame. And that's what the world wants, because the world doesn't want to deal with the truth that there is one sovereign God. Because when you start to deal with that truth, it requires you to become a new person. And people don't want to change. They want to have the money, have the power, have the fame, and do the things they want, and then they find out that that is fleeting, and it goes by so very quickly. The other point that I wanted to make when I shared that, it is that perspective is so untrue that even the most secular, non-believing human beings on this planet statistically prove repeatedly it is not true. Are there problems? Absolutely. Are there hardships? Absolutely. Is there no question that this planet and the people that inhabit it are better today than they were 10, 50, 100, 1,000 years ago? Unequivocally true. And I can stack up a pile of data to show people that. And so the point I was trying to make is, if you're not going to believe in the sovereign God, then you're not even believing in reality. And that comes back to the Mike Tyson quote. So life's going to punch you in the face. It's going to challenge your reality. And then what's your plan B, C, and D? Because you're probably going to end up on plan F.
All right, name, major, and question.
Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm also transferred from TIU. I'm a psychology major. So with so many transfer students this year and so many Christian universities closing down, how do you stay confident that Judson will stay afloat?
Yeah, number one, God has a plan for Judson and has kept Judson viable and moving forward in spite of who's leading it. In spite of me being president with all my flaws, and my sins and my struggles, God's got a plan for this institution, and God has had a plan for this institution since 1963. As Dr. Warren Anderson will tell you, as many other people will tell you here, when Harm Weber was brought here to be president of Judson University, the board brought him to be president to close the school. And then Dr. Weber basically said, that is not in God's plan for Judson not to be viable down the road and be sustainable. Which is why, given the struggles of just being in Illinois alone, that is why we are going to be back over 1,000 students this fall, and we have our largest incoming class, and we will have the largest number of traditional undergraduate students in over a decade. If that's not God at work, I don't know what other proof we need to look for if we can't see that that's God at work in our community right now.
That's awesome. I'm going to go right here. Name, major, and question.
Hi, my name is Ryan. My major is communications. My question is, what is the largest graduating class here at Judson?
Largest graduating class. We I don't know if Jenny Guth was here or Heather Johnson or some folks back there. They could tell us almost right away. It's going to be around 200 total. That's why we have 2 commencements if we get north of 160 to 180 because we have 2 commencements for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have one and you have 200 graduates, everybody's there for 3.5 to 4 hours. And your parents and family are here to see one person graduate. That's you. So we have 2, so we put in double the work, but it makes it more impactful for the family. So a big class for us is going to be around 180 to 190.
That's it. Usually in May, there
So
is
that's in May,
a few. Yeah, probably one to 125 in December. So
All right.
probably 3 something over the year.
Over here, any questions over on this area? Yes, I'm coming to you. I'm coming this way. You just stay there. Sorry, everybody. Hello, hi. All right, stand up for me. Name, major. What's your question?
My name is Ashlyn. I'm a second year in the RISE program, and I'm just kind of confused because you said the people who are most successful have to have a college degree, and when they have a college degree, they earn a lot. But what about those who either God calls them, who don't go to college, but God calls them into ministry, and they do work like for Him, and they end up being a lot of successful through Him?
Great question. So note what I said, that is not exclusive. We can give lots of examples of people that don't experience college like everyone in this room, whether you're a RISE student, whether you're a traditional student, whether you're a commuter student, that have had meaningful lives overall. Statistically speaking, the probability of you having a better life if you have a meaningful faith and if you go to college and if you find a partner and if you have a solid family and you're involved in a community, those 5 things, that will increase your probability of having a meaningful, impactful life and a life that you're more contented and happy with. There are people, because God designs us all differently, there are people that do it God's way. And for me, a great example of that in the Bible is John the Baptist. You just think of the story of John the Baptist. If John the Baptist were here today, we would all think John the Baptist is nuts, right? Because he's not doing it the way the majority of the people are doing it. But he had a mission God specifically called him for. That same thing's true of missionaries and pastors and preachers and teachers and other folks who feel called to go serve and not necessarily do those things. But notice what they have. They have a meaningful faith life. That's why that starts at the top. If you have that, everything else will flow from that. But that's a great question. It's not mutually exclusive. You can still do all those things. But if your heart is not in the right place, the hardships of life can make life really hard. But if your heart's in the right place, God will see you through the hardships, and your life will be meaningful and fruitful. Great question.
Back here in the corner.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm majoring in Christian Ministries with YWAM. It's called Youth with a Mission. Does your school impact with Youth with a Mission? And was that your vision for students to go and do mission trips and stuff like that through YWAM called Youth with a Mission? Does your vision impact that?
Yeah, so essentially, are you asking about the vision for missions? Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah, basically. Do you ever have students that come from Youth with a Mission here?
So yeah, Tom Beanert, Pastor Tom's going to be up here in chapel talking about our global outreach trips and how we're called to go serve. But I also want to point out, being called to serve is both in our backyard and around the world, which is why we're going to talk about things like Heal Elgin. We have a wonderful opportunity where people from all over this community will come to this campus in October. I think that's right, Tom, is October? In October, to receive dental care primarily, and it's the only chance they have to get dental care. That is caring for our neighbor literally living right next door to us. But we also have mission trips that go to Belize and Peru and Dominican Republic, and we're going to announce a new trip this year. We're going to actually announce 2 really cool new ones. I want every student at this institution, I want you to go and serve. I want you to go and serve, because a lot of times we get caught in our own junk. And when we go and live and serve and care for other people that more often than not have far less than what we have. When I say less, I mean like material less, not spiritual less. There are times we go on mission trips and we see they are spiritually much more abundant than we are. But we look at where they're living like, gosh, what is this all about? And when you learn that and you learn the joy that they have in their heart, what you bring back to your community is transformational. And so that's my desire, and I know Cindy's been a part of that too, if you wanted to expand on that part.
All right, final audience question. We have an adult here with a question and a name tag. She looks very official, so I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Thank you. I'm Heather Johnson, and I'm a graduate of Judson University. Yay! My question is, besides graduation, what is your favorite event on campus to attend?
I would say move-in weekend, welcome weekend. Love seeing all the new faces and families, returning students, even through the weekend. I would say that is it. I really enjoy having individual conversations second to that. I enjoy getting to know you and a little bit about your story, or just being able to share with you in a personal way. Really enjoy that. So that's not an event, sorry, but that's my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question, Heather. I mean, there are definitely those hallmark events that are important. Like graduation is why you're here. And if you're in this business and graduation doesn't do it for you, then you need to think about, are you in the right line of work? Because watching you all walk across the stage and the pride you have and your families and your friends and the energy that has, that's the culmination of everybody caring and walking alongside of you for the 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever your path is here at Judson University. Beyond that, honestly, my most honest answer is I love every piece of it. I love going to the recitals. I love going to the plays. I love going to the athletic events. I love hearing the choir sing. I love coming to chapel and watching the worship leaders lead. I really enjoy at times when I'm in HAWAC and I'm looking down below, like going up to one of the upper floors and watching a critique take place. And just the energy that has, or standing outside of a classroom and listen to Rob Curry sing scripture, and watching and listening to you all and peeking in the room and seeing a couple in the room like, this is the lamest thing in the world. And Professor Curry's energy is just pouring into doing that part of it. And then hearing from alumni 10 years later, they can still remember singing scripture. It's like every single part of what we do, but there are big events that just make it more joyful. And commencement's one of the biggest ones. I agree with Cindy, move-in weekend. Homecoming's a blast. The first of anything in a semester is a great time. The first women's volleyball game, the first women's soccer game, first golf outing, first football game, first choir performance. The first of anything in a semester is a blast. So it's really all of it. It's why doing this work is a blessing and fun.
All right, in order to close out chapel today, I'm going to ask the final question, which is, and you can answer it both. We'll go Cindy and then Jean. The thing that you are the most proud about at Judson or for Judson?
Really proud of our students. I really enjoy watching you interact with other people, guests that come on campus, how you handle yourselves when you travel, the choir, and other groups that I've in Belize that I've been with. I'm just really proud to be associated with each and every one of you. And proud of my husband, because I feel like that God called him to this work, and he works very hard, again, to make this experience for you all that it can be, and to help you all recognize that God has called each and every one of you. He has gifted each and every one of you in His will, in His appropriation, in His special will. So seeing you all walk into that and embrace that is a joy for both of us, I think.
Gene?
Absolutely. For me, it's in a very quick story. A couple years ago, Athletic Hall of Fame banquet, a woman stands up and talks about what Judson meant to her. But she talked about one important moment where it was late in the afternoon, almost 5 o'clock. She was feeling frustrated. She wasn't getting being at a Christian college. She was ready to quit and did not know what to do. And she was incredibly frustrated. She wanted to leave her sport, wanted to leave the school, and literally just wanted to quit to some extent on life. And so she went up to the faculty offices, and it was obviously late in the afternoon, and she found the only door that was open, and she turned and walked into Eric Mason's office and basically said, "What's this all about?" And even though she stood at the athletic banquet and said, "Look, I still don't know where I am with God. It's been 15 years. I don't know where I am still with God. But I can tell you how impactful that conversation I had with Professor Mason was. What the faculty and staff do to walk alongside of you, and then to hear your stories years later about what this time meant, that's the most impactful thing. That's the thing that we're all the most proud of, not because in our human flesh we're proud of it, but we're proud to be a part of what God calls us to do in this community. And so hearing your all stories about what these experiences mean to you, that's what makes it a blessing.
Gene and Cindy Crume. You guys are released. Thank you.
The artist best.